All right, friends, it's T-Mon. We're back with a Steve Shaw Massive Iron video. We're going to react to the gym, lifting, recruiting, and fitness gear slave himself, Steve Shaw. So Steve Shaw from Massive Iron says 17 lessons that explode muscle growth. It's going to explode. 17 lessons. Man, I only need to give one lesson. It's going to explode.
Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron channel. I'm Steve Shaw.
Yeah,
if you feel like you're drowning in tips, reels, or science-based information, but still feel like you're spinning your wheels, in this video I'm going to share with you 17 lessons that I've
I bet you are.
learned from my 40 years of coaching and training.
40 years of learning, coaching, and training. 40 years of taking steroids? Okay.
Will help you get on track.
I really doubt he's been doing this for 40 years, but whatever he's been doing there, I don't know. It's fake.
I want to encourage you to stick around to the last 6 because they are arguably the most important. Now, for those of you guys that are new to the channel.
So if they're the most important, why not just go for the most important lessons? Why do you need all 17?
I've been a top editor in the fitness industry.
I'm sure
I've ran one of the largest lifting sites on the internet, and I've written over 1,000
Oh my God.
articles. I got extremely strong, then extremely sick, made a dramatic body transformation.
Sounds like Blaha, another clone, eh, guys? I tell you, there's so many clones, Blaha clones online. It's ridiculous. Come on.
I became an ultra runner at age 50 and was recently voted the online coach of the year. If you're interested in working with me, click.
Tell you the truth, I don't care, man, what you did. I don't care. I've done a lot of things, and honestly, I don't really care either.
The link down below and we will discuss your goals. Over the last 40 years of training and coaching, these are some of the biggest lessons you could ever learn if you want to maximize the muscle building process. So here goes. All right, so lesson number 1 is play the long game. Muscle building is a long-term process and not an 8-week plan. I don't want you to get caught up in
It's a very short process. It has to be a very short process. I'll explain why in this video in a minute.
Frustration, temporary frustration, or short-term setbacks. You have to play the long game. You have to be safe. You have to be smart. You have to stick to the basics. And never forget that progress, long-term progress, comes from sticking to the process. You have to practice relentless consistency. You often see lifters get frustrated with minor strains or pains or temporary setbacks, and they'll look for magic solutions or they'll get frustrated. The fear is that they'll
look for magic solutions or they'll get frustrated because why exactly? So what's their magic solutions? Steroids, like Steve Shaw, take steroids and fake it. And pretend coach, be a pretend coach.
Setbacks are going to somehow dramatically stall your progress. The reality is it's a 10-year process.
Whoa, it's a 10-year process, guys. I guess he has you locked, hooked, and reeled in. Sucker born every minute, baby. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a short run, probably less than a year, whatever. It's a very short run. It has to be a very short run because... It just has to be because protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. You need to stay in an anabolic growth state in order to see muscles grow. And you need to get these micro tears. So the triggering device is the micro tears. The catalyst is micro tears. But the growth is when protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown. You need to be in anabolism, an anabolic growth state. Otherwise, and it needs to be consistent all the time during that growth period. If it's not, forget it. Forget it.
You're going to have little setbacks. You're going to have little strains. You have to just forget these things and continue driving forward, keeping yourself in the gym. And that brings us to lesson number 2, play the safe game. You can't make progress if you're not in the gym. I don't want you to overdo 1-rep max testing or focus on extreme workouts or any of that nonsense. It's okay to test your 1-rep max occasionally. It's okay to do some kind of radical, more extreme workouts occasionally. But just remember the meat and potatoes, the basics of training. This is what is going to matter over the long run. Focus on the basics, focus on keeping your butt in the gym. Try not to do anything radical or extreme. Don't try to do punishing workouts. We're there to get into the gym, stimulate, train.
Punishing workouts? Why would you punish yourself? You want to punish your body to break down more proteins, or you want to punish it and tell it to, hey, you have to build muscle, build it. Don't stop breaking it, build it. We're lifting to build muscle. Is that it?
Hard, make progress, and keep things moving forward. No matter what, your prime directive is to stay safe.
Oh, I love this one. The prime directive. That's like something you got on Star Trek. Star Trek, dude.
Stay smart. If something happens in the gym, you don't feel perfectly okay on that given day, you don't feel like it's a failed workout. One of the things I teach is that if I go into the gym on
Yes, what do you teach?
Any given day and something isn't feeling good, something isn't feeling right, I live to fight another day. If I can't do something perfect, I just get in there, do the minimum holdover work, and then get back in the gym the next time.
Why would you do that and waste your time? Why would you do that? If you're not feeling it, don't do it. Do it when you're feeling. Go to the gym, break down these muscles, get some micro tears, and stay in anabolic growth state. It's very simple the whole time.
All right, lesson number 3, pick exercises you enjoy that have a progression opportunity. You need lifts that allow you to progress for a longer period of time. This has to be the meat and potatoes of your training program. Now, there are no magical exercises. You don't need to.
Well, that was a partial rep. If he went down all the way to the bottom for a full range of motion, he'd fucking die in the bottom because he's so weak. A lot of people do this. It's to impress you. They do a partial rep. They bounce the weight. They move forward with their bodies tilted forward. It's on an angle. It's so they can stick their butt out, and it's like a spring action. You're moving forward and backward. You're pushing backward on the weight at the same time while you're pumping out. So it's a phony squat.
Do squats or deadlift or even bench press if you don't want to. But you do need a solid group of exercises.
Did you see how he bent forward and went like this? It's a half a rep, his butt and his legs, and he went forward and pushed back on the weight. It's the whole point.
Allow you to
give the illusion.
Progress or get a lot stronger than you are now.
That's not based on myofibrillar growth. That squat is not based on myofibrillar growth. It's based on androgen receptor and fucking motor units. Because if it was based on myofibrillar growth, he would be able to squat it all the way down to the bottom with ease like it was nothing. See, because he never built any muscle. This fool never built any muscle. That's how you know. I've seen lots of people lift like this. Even El Campeon, he lifts like this, exactly like this. It's all concentric. It's all concentric without any eccentric. There's no myofibrillar growth. It's all fucking an illusion. It's all fake strength. It's all chemical, motor unit, energy receptor, chemical strength. It's fake.
No, you just can't simply pick all easy lifts that feel good and hope to build muscle. It doesn't work that way. When it comes to a group of exercises for any specific muscle group or area, I want you to pick exercises that really motivate you to train, something you really enjoy to do.
Yeah, but he said build muscle, and there's no eccentric in his squat. So how are you going to build muscle? You have to do eccentrics. There has to be an eccentric there. There's just not enough. That's why it's going to take you 10 years. Let's say 10 years. So, okay, let's say there's some eccentric in this concentric squat, right? He went down partially, right? There was an eccentric going down, but he only went down partially. Then he went back up with a heavy weight. Okay, let's say he does numerous sets like this, sets and reps. All right, he does a lot of something there. I don't know. Maybe there's a very minute chance there's some, some micro tears in there, okay? Because there's still some eccentric in the concentric, what he's doing. He's not doing eccentric exercise. He's doing concentric. So there's some eccentric. So let's say he gets some. Now, if protein synthesis does not exceed that breakdown, you're not going to see growth there. So sometimes these people are there, they're not there, they're coming, they're going, whatever, I don't know. But 10 years not to see any growth, and it's really... like sarcoplasmic, non-contractile protein, sarcoplasmic growth is very, very depressing, bro. I'm telling you, for a lot of people, just like The Rock, when he went off of steroids, it was all sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It all went away in 1 month. All that work he put in, all those years and months and everything and steroids, all those, and it went away in 1 month, bro, because it was all fake.
Again, for quads, you don't have to do squats. You could pick leg press or hack squats or lunges or whatever. As long as you have a solid grouping of exercises that motivate you to get your butt into the gym and attack and have a good progression opportunity, you are in a good place. All right, lesson number 4, don't sweat the small stuff. This is an important point.
Oh, yeah.
The lifting world can be full of conflicting information and confusing information. I want you to always keep the bigger picture in mind, the basics, the long-term process, the massive iron pillars of success. I've spent my life studying programs from the last 7 years, and what I have found out is there's no magic programs, no magic frequencies, no magic exercises, but there are 10 cornerstone pillars of success. If you follow these basic tenets or basic pillars of success, you are going to be successful regardless of the program, regardless of the exercises, regardless of the frequency, regardless of the split. If you want to learn more about the 10 pillars of success from the Massive Iron world, please check out my book, Massive Omnibus. I will link that down below. All right, lesson number 5, learn to ignore social media noise. And that is exactly what it can be. What I want to encourage you to do is pick a small group of influencers or fitness voices or muscle building voices that you know focus on the basics, focus on the good stuff. And
Focus on the basics. Focus on the good stuff, the good life. Yahoo!
Lifting, and aren't just tossing out random new exercises or magical game-changing tips that go against what we know to be the meat and potatoes of muscle building. You need to build a trusted list of sources you can rely on for information, and they should be a limited group of sources. Somebody you know, if you go to their channel or go to their Instagram page, you're going to get good quality information. And basically, all of these voices are teaching you the same thing, maybe just in a different way. You can watch all these other channels, you can follow all these other influencers, just kind of treat them as infotainment. You have to be really careful about getting distracted from any of these shiny new objects. So keep your list of trusted information sources small and focused. All right, lesson number 6. There are many seasons in life, and this is something you really need to understand. It's a 10-year process. You're going to go through seasons where you can't train as much. You're going to go through seasons that are just absolutely incredible and you're crushing everything. You're going to go through seasons where life's stress, where life's problems, where all kinds of things are trying to pull you away from the gym. I don't want you to panic because it's unrealistic to believe that in the next 10 years of building muscle, everything is...
Of course, it's going to be the next 10 years for all of you, man, if you keep listening to this guy. Yeah, 10 years, man. That's all I need, yeah. Think I'm quitting ahead. You better quit ahead, man. 10 years, dude.
Going to be perfect. This is a lie. It doesn't work like that. What you need to do is not focus.
This is a lie. It doesn't work like that. You need to spend the next 10 years and imprison yourself like Blaha in a garage and keep being lifting slave.
On the specific season so much, but whatever you can do during that season, you need to get in.
So to gain like 10 pounds of muscle, it's going to take you 10 years. That's 1 pound a year. And then it'll go away like The Rock.
The gym and absolutely maximize that season, whether it's 2 workouts of 40 minutes or 5 workouts of 2 hours. Whatever you have going on, don't quit training.
Woohoo, don't quit.
Don't quit with your focused nutrition. Don't quit with your consistency. Maximize everything during that season. That will lead you to maximum.
Well, I mean, if you keep trying to break down proteins instead of build them up, yeah, I could definitely see you skating uphill. Take you 10 years to skate up a hill, yeah.
Mass. All All right, so I mentioned the last 6 lessons are probably the most important. So I just want to encourage you guys to hang in there because the last 6 are really the big hitters. Now, lesson number 7, passion is key. Passion is rarely talked about in lifting. We talk about science-based lifting. We talk about game-changing tips. We talk about optimization and perfect structures. Passion is really the driving point. If you are not passionate about what you're doing, you will not be successful. You have to allow passion to enter the conversation. I want you to pick a split you're passionate about, pick exercises you're passionate about, pick rep ranges you're passionate about, pick progression opportunities you're passionate about, pick food choices you're passionate about. Put together a structure and program and eating plan based on your passion and not somebody's idea of optimal. Optimal is not optimal if it does not focus on passion.
Yes, you need passion to build muscles, broskies. Okay, passion.
All right, lesson number 8, and this is a big one. You must track. You can't just do the muscle building process. Expect to gain a lot.
So you can't just do the muscle building process. You have to track it, broski. Tracking. You know what? Well, a lot of you are tracking and doing these 17 lessons. I'll be down at the buffet. Proteins Physicist exceeds that breakdown. And then I'll just go once a week to the gym and I'll get bigger and stronger than all of you. Okay? At the age of whatever. Let's say I'm 25 years old or 25. I'll be doing that while you guys at 25 will be doing your 10-year program here with Mr. What's his name? Mr. Steve Shaw, Massive Aaron. Get it, dude? So while you're spending 10 years, I'll do it in less than a year. I'll put on like 50, 60, 70 pounds of muscle in less than a year. Okay? Like real myofibular growth. Well, all of you spend 10 years trying to gain a pound a year. In 10 years, 10 pounds of muscle. Okay, dude?
Muscle mass and not track anything. Muscle building cannot be a guessing game. You need to track some things. You don't need to become obsessive compulsive.
Does science tell you what builds muscle? Yes, I post it all the time. Science does tell you what builds muscle. What builds muscle? What does science tell you? It says micro tears. What else does it say? It says when protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown, you're going to see mass. You're going to gain muscle mass. That's what it says.
Or weigh your food or go absolutely crazy. But you need to track your workouts so you can look back.
Do you think you're creating micro tears by working out every day in the gym or every other day? You think your muscles are micro tearing every day, every other day? Are you getting DOMs? Is it lasting 4 days? Oh, wait a second. If you get a micro tear, you get DOMs. It lasts 4 days, right? So why are you coming back every other day? Don't you feel pain? DOMs, like you're sore. You can't move your arms and anything. Would you work through that? Like, would you want to work through that and shrink your muscles because now you've got micro tears, you got micro damage? How does it grow now? Oh, you have to go back and re-damage it again. Keep breaking down those proteins so you can absolutely defeat the purpose and shrink your muscles down to a fuck, right? Is that it? So you want to be a skinny, weak fuck, but lift a heavy weight. Okay, yeah, I get it now. I understand. Fucking shit, man. People want to be skinny, weak in the gym. Yes. Skinny, small, weak, strong guys. Yes, okay.
And see if you are beating the logbook. You need to track.
Yeah, you're going to be beating that meat all right forever the next 10 years, broski. Unless you find a woman, you're going to be beating it for 10 years.
At minimum, your arm size and leg size flexed once a month. So you can look back over the long term and see if you are making progress.
Look over the long term. The long term, because I need a hook, all you suckers on my channel, because you can watch me forever. Keep all of you my lifting gym slaves until the next generation comes up. Because every year there's a graduation, there's a new generation coming up of lifting gym slaves, bro. Get it? And I have to hook them on the 10-year plan.
There are a lot of people that come to me that think...
You know, it's like this. Would you want a mortgage that would last 10 years? Or do you want a mortgage that would last 1 year? You don't have to pay anymore. Fucking. So the house is paid off outright and the house is yours.
They aren't making progress. They're not tracking their arm size. They're not tracking
I know. That's how the mortgage company, they hook you. These banks, they hook you on a mortgage. It's like the 40-year mortgage plan. Holy fuck! You'll finally pay it now. It's like 60 years. You finally pay that house off in 60 years. Oh my god, the down payment is even a lot higher these days. So that's how they hook you. Get it? Yeah, because they'll bleed you for interest. You have to pay the interest on the principal first. That'll take the first 40 years.
leg size. Arm growth and leg growth are really slow over time, but they will add up quickly. You can work very, very hard during a 6-month period of time, and it might appear in photos that you're not making any progress at all. But if you are actually tracking,
I mean, there's some people that will amateurize, right, their mortgage. But hey, that's the shortcut. They're finally protein synthesis is finally exceeding that breakdown. They finally caught on.
you might be able to see, hey, I've added a 1/2 inch of size onto my arms. Me feeling like I've not made any progress is a lie. You need to track your measurements, at least your arms and your legs. Now, in addition, I want to encourage you to track your weight at least twice a week. If we are going to bulk properly, if we are going to attack muscle building properly, we need to monitor our body weight to a minimum reasonable degree. There cannot be any guessing.
There can't be any guessing. If we're going to bulk properly, if we're going to get fat properly on slop, gain fat and weight and get fat and pretend we're building muscles because we got fat, eating the slop slave food peasant diet, broski, get it? Bulking. Man, and breaking down proteins all day, instead getting fat, and then I don't know what else there is, like getting lean or something he says in his videos all the time.
You don't want to be the guy or the girl that is training for 6 months and you realize, you weigh in after 6 months and you realize your body weight hasn't moved at all. This is a great way to stall the muscle building process.
The body weight hasn't moved at all. Body weight or muscle weight hasn't moved at all. Yeah, it's a great way to stall. Okay, why isn't it moving?
Track your weight 1 to 2 times a week, no exceptions. Now, finally, you need some sort of a reasonable understanding of your calorie intake. You don't need to weigh your food. You don't need to go crazy. There can be a little bit of variance, but we're going to talk about bulking in just a little bit, so hang on for that. But you need to track.
We're going to talk about faking in a minute.
Track your calories and make sure you're being reasonably consistent with your calorie intake, reasonably consistent with your protein intake, and reasonably consistent with your weight gain, so you know your calories and your protein are actually providing enough fuel to pack on mass. If you want to completely derail and slow your muscle building results, don't track any of this. All right, lesson number 9, every exercise needs a progression approach. This is not optional. An exercise without a progression approach is like a car without an engine. It can look pretty, your program can look pretty, but if you do not have progression driving the car, you are not going to get anywhere. Progression is not optional. It is the foundation, like the foundation of a house. You need it as your foundation. Over time, you need to be.
Progression is the key. Yes, that's it.
Progressing. Your training needs to get a little bit harder. You need to get stronger over time. There needs to be some increase in overall workout intensity. You can't have exercises in your training day that don't have a specific progression approach, even if those exercises are slow progressors. So find a progression approach you like for that specific exercise. Keep an eye on the logbook. Try to progress safely when you can. All right, so we're almost to the final 6. This is lesson number 10. The final 6 are up next. Lesson number 10. Lean bulking isn't optional. There are a lot of little fairy tales out there right now in lifting that you can maintain, gaintain, plantain, not move your body weight from where it is right now, keep the scale weight the same, and somehow you can pack on 20, 25, 30 pounds of muscle without the scale moving up. To maximize muscle building, you need a lean bulk in place. We're not doing fat bulking. In the massive iron world, I teach a massive bulking system, and the first step is to gain about 1 kilo to 2.5 pounds per month over about a 4 to 5 month period of time. Generally, if you're new to lean bulking, you want to set about...
Bulking is just another word for getting fat, eating garbage. So you need to gain weight. Consistently, you need to get fat. Okay, whatever. That's not bodybuilding.
10-pound ceiling. Once you get to that 10 pounds, and again, it should take about 4 to 5 months, then we want to reassess, see how comfortable we feel with the bulking process, either continue forward 5 pounds or do a quick mini cut and get back to bulking. If you are gaining weight more than 2.5 pounds per month, you are entering that sloppy kind of fat bulk area.
Really?
We need to slow it down. We need to keep you in a calorie surplus as long as possible so we can maximize the coming training year. If you want more information on the massive iron bulking system, check out this PDF. I will link it down below. You can also go to my website, superlivingtoday.com, and search bulking. All right, here we go. The last 6 points, and these are arguably the most important and most impactful. Lesson number 11, control the weight. You're not just going into the gym to get PRs, to build random strength. This is something I talk about over and over again. You have to get a lot stronger than you are now.
Oh, sure.
But you have to do so in the lane of control. After 20 years of lifting, I got into powerlifting, and a lot of people view me as a power lifter. But bodybuilding and muscle building, this is what I am passionate about. I have built a lot of...
I'm sure he's passionate about that. Yes, yeah. He knows a lot about muscle building. It's a lot easier than you think, but okay, whatever, man.
Strength over the first 20 years of my lifting career, but I didn't chase PRs. I never worried about PRs. I would focus on hard training, trying to beat the logbook, but I would always focus on controlling the weight. We're not going for super slow reps, and we're not going for super slow eccentrics, but when you're doing things like lat pull downs or seated rows or curls, you're not just throwing the weight around. You're not just trying to accumulate reps. You're trying to get good mechanical tension and stress. You want to have good focused power on your curl or your lat pull down or your seated row. You want to have a reasonable focused power that allows you to generate that good stress and that good mechanical tension. And then when you're returning the weight down, you want reasonable control. You're not just flopping the weight down or flopping the weight back up. To focus on hard training and progressive overload while maintaining good, solid control without trying to overly slow your eccentrics. Mechanical tension, it's an integral part of the muscle building process. Now, lesson number 12, it's more art than science. This is going to sound very...
Mechanical tension is part of the process of building. Mechanical tension doesn't build muscles, you fuck. Protein does. Shut up.
Controversial, and I'm not anti-science. I've spent my life studying natural muscle building potential.
He spent his lifetime studying natural building, muscle building potential, all that. What? Yet he doesn't know what builds muscles, bro. He doesn't know how to build them. Oh my God.
My life as an editor. I spent my life writing articles. I spent my life as a teacher and a coach.
I'm telling you, all those articles they are probably hurting people. They're just like, fuck. Then they're like, fuck this. I'm taking steroids. That's why people take steroids. Because they don't know what they're doing.
We want to look at the history of lifting and find the commonalities. A lot of the modern science-based information is detached from what is really working the last 70 years of lifting. If something is framed as scientific but doesn't look at what is actually happening in the gym, it's not science at all. It is a fairy tale disguised as science.
Maybe it's bro science.
The brand disguised as...
I love how this guy's pretending to be an expert on something that he's not an expert at, other than taking steroids. Wait, he's an expert at that, though.
as science. I want you to remember that muscle building is more art than science. This doesn't mean we train foolishly or recklessly or don't
I
use.
love this. It's more art than science. Well, martial arts, they call it an art for a reason. Martial arts is just that, an art. It's not a real fighting technique. It's a martial art. It's an art. It looks artistic when you move around. It's not something you would use in a real fight because when a fight happens, there's no time to really react there. Too many things are happening very fast. You blinds, you can't even see in front of yourself when you're throwing punches. You're throwing punches, he's throwing punches, and things are moving so quick you can't even see what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But whatever. I mean, you could try. You could try. People have tried to use martial arts in, like, what is it, MMA, and they've lost. They get beat up because they're using techniques that are totally different, have nothing to do with martial arts. They're using more like grappling, ground throwing, stuff like that. So it's much more, it's more, how should I put it? It's superior. But martial arts are just a bunch of movements. That's all. Very artistic movements. You could call it that. I know because I took martial arts most of half my lifetime, so I can tell you that for sure. I've never ever used it ever in any fight. Now you could go. There's rules and competitions. You could go. Your instructor will take you there. You go for these competitions, whatever. You go there. They have rules specific of what you're supposed to do there, throw there. It's very slow paced. You know, you're allowed them to hit you, you hit them, blah, blah, blah. It's like boxing. You throw a few punches, then he throws a few punches. It's just goofy shit. In the real world, that doesn't really work like that. But whatever, man. You get the picture. It's like bodybuilding, like him. The fake stuff with the real. His fake shit doesn't work.
Common sense. But muscle building is more art than science. I teach evolving programs based on.
It's not an art. It's you could say science means tests. They've done tests, so they'll tell you what the outcome was. Is it scientific? No. You don't have to use science to build muscles, but it's good to find out what you did is found in science to corroborate that, oh, that worked, right? What I'm doing is right. In other words, me coming in once a week, I'm getting these micro tears. I got this DOMS. Okay, science confirms that. It confirms the DOMS. It confirms repeat bout effect. It confirms micro tears. That's the catalyst to building muscle, the triggering device. Okay, protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. I go right after my workout, 4-hour window, anabolic. The rate has outpaced the breakdown in protein synthesis, yada, yada, yada. You get the fact, you get the idea. Science just corroborates all the things that your experience that you got when you figured it out, how muscles are built. Then you go and you find the answers because your experience gives you that to find the answers. Get it like me. Hey, yeah.
What is happening in the gym. This is an art form. You go into the gym based on what is happening. We're going to make solid, reasonable swaps or choices based on how something is treating our body, maybe based on how an exercise is treating us. Your program should evolve based on passion and what is happening in the gym rather than chasing the latest science-based trend.
Okay.
This will only amplify your training, and I guarantee it'll amplify your training much more rapidly than just chasing the science-based tip of the day. Science can never replace the art of training.
Sure.
All right,
can.
lesson number 13 is going to piggyback on lesson number 12. Training evolution
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about there, but whatever.
is king. Have you ever looked at the program of a very experienced lifter and it makes no sense at all? They're using exercises that you probably don't.
I'm a very experienced lifter. I don't mention anything about any exercises. I say exercise is the means to getting what? Micro tears, that's all. All you have to do is work your body mostly in the eccentric, since the eccentric causes more micro tears, right? Science will corroborate everything I say. The eccentric causes more micro tears than concentric, because concentric, there's still some eccentric. Now, if you were to overwork it in the concentric, right, do enough sets and reps, then yes, you may get some micro tears. But there are more more pronounced micro tears in the eccentric as opposed to the concentric. Look, we have full range of motion, right? Full range of motion. Now, we have eccentric and we have concentric. Now, people lift concentrically, but there's some eccentric. They may get some damage. Now, people that lift eccentrically will get damaged and get more damage than somebody lifting concentrically, eccentrically, okay? So, whatever. So now that you got these micro tears, that's all that matters, is to damage the muscle. The exercise is just a catalyst to get micro tears. And then you go somewhere and you eat for hours. That's all. And you stay in an anabolic growth state. Protein synthesis needs to outpace the rate of protein breakdown. That's all. So you could gain muscle mass. That's it.
Use, or maybe even a couple you've never seen.
So I'm experienced. What I'm telling you, is it wrong? Do you think it's wrong?
Maybe they're using a protocol or a training tool like rest pause or drop sets in an odd structure you've never considered. When you look at the program of somebody that's been training 10, 15, 20 years, their program might look a little bit odd on paper, but here is the truth when it comes to training evolution. If you start today and you get in the gym and you find out a certain exercise variation doesn't work for you, maybe you don't like barbell rows and you switch to pendley rows and find that feels a lot better. Maybe you don't like the 8 to 10 rep range on pendley rows. Maybe you like the 6 rep range.
Yeah, if you lift concentrically and your protein is really not really all spot on, then maybe, yeah, it will take you 20 years to gain a pound a year. I don't know.
You switch to that. This is what
That's why intelligent lifters lift eccentrically, so that can only happen once a week. See what I mean? See the difference? That can only happen once a week. And we're going through repair and remodeling. And then we come back and hit it again. We're growing the rest of the week. Now, I'm not saying that a person that comes in every so often does concentric. They may get some micro tears, but it's on such a minute level that maybe you got lucky and it went through a remodeling. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. Maybe it didn't. There just wasn't enough damage there for the body to say, you know what? We need to adapt by creating more sarcomeres in number in muscle fibers. But then your body says, no, forget it. Not enough protein. And you know what? There wasn't just enough stress on there. Just wasn't enough stress.
We call evolving training based on needs. You are getting into the gym,
yes.
You're finding what you like and you don't like, and as long as it's reasonable, as long as the swap or change is reasonable, you're evolving your training based on passion and what feels good for you. This is so extremely important. You're going to find that if you do this over time, rather than program hop, that over the course of 10 years, you're going to develop your own unique style, your own unique preferences that are built on what is occurring in the gym and what you feel passionate about. I'm very passionate about rest pause training. It's something I like a lot. If you don't like it, don't use it. It doesn't matter. Maybe you like cluster sets. Maybe you like drop sets. Maybe you like straight sets. It doesn't matter. Allow training evolution to determine or dictate how you progress moving forward. Again, as long as things are reasonable. Don't focus on program hopping, focus on program evolution. Now,
that made absolutely zero sense. I don't know what he's talking about.
Lesson number 14, and this has to do with program hopping, which we just talked about. I want to share something with you, and I hope this makes sense. When you program hop, you're simply hopping from one program to the next, and they have the same darn exercises. You're hopping from one program to the next, to the next, to the next, using the same exercises. What sense does that make? You're moving from one program to another, doing the same darn thing. The only differences between programs are the minor optional tools. So one program might focus on a 5x5 set and rep structure. One might focus on cluster sets. One might focus on rest pause. Instead of just randomly program hopping, you have to be in tune with what training tools or techniques do I like, or what don't I like about this workout. Instead of just hopping to a new program, find the variable in the program you don't like. Maybe it's taking too long because you're doing 5 sets of 5. Move it to straight sets of 3x8. Maybe move it to 3 sets of 5 or 3 sets of 6. Evolve things, move out, phase out the variables you don't like, phase in something something different. Try something different rather than just completely scrapping a program.
Why is his face so fat? Try something different. Try something this. Try something that. If that doesn't work, I got number 1 for you. If that doesn't work, I got number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Wait, the last 6. 17, broski. I'm so tired I couldn't even count to 17. I lost my breath already.
Going to something new and never being smart enough to figure out it was only a single variable I didn't like.
Yes, you guys weren't smart enough to figure out that Massive Iron is full of shit. All you minions that are watching him, your minions. He's enslaved, I don't know, 100,000 minions or whatever, 57,000 or whatever his number is. I can't remember. His page is all over the place. I remember it was at 50, was never growing. Who knows? Whatever it is now, I didn't even bother to check. But he's got a lot of these enslaved minions on here. They're crazy.
And I probably should have only changed that thing.
They're just as crazy as him. I'm passionate about all you people failing out there. The failure. I'm going to put you through 17 things to make sure you fail. Don't worry, but if number 1 doesn't work, I got number 2, guys. Number 2 doesn't work, I got number 3. And guess what? The last 6 are more important than the first. So go scroll to number 6. If none of them work, go to number 6 and start going from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Variable rather than just completely changing the entire program.
Sure.
This will keep you spinning and spinning your wheels because
your wheels, broski.
You're never truly analyzing the
Okay, this is too long.
There's no need to panic. There's no need to change your
plateaus. Don't exist. They don't exist. They don't. Early on progress. Okay, whatever. I know what he's talking about here.
Program. There's no need to watch videos about plateauing. As long as you have the Massive Iron pillars of success in place.
See, as long as you have the Massive Iron pillars of success in place, you're not going to plateau ever. Yes, okay.
The basics in place. Sure. All you need to do is train safe, train smart.
Sure, yeah.
This seems like a plateau.
Okay.
And there never was a plateau.
Whatever.
Explain. Now, these optional tools, these optional training tools are 6 in place. All the things we talked about.
Okay.
17, conventional splits aren't always the best option. Now, I don't want you guys to get upset with me. I'm not saying upper lowers are bad or push-pull legs are bad. I'm just saying there's a lot.
But what are they bad about? What are they bad for exactly? You mean for colleges so you could build muscle? Because that's how muscles are built. Is that what you're talking about, massive goof?
Of different splits out there that you guys need to consider and look at. In the Massive Iron world, I've spent my lifting.
So what if I vigorously work my muscles in the eccentric, I split my routine, and then I come in, I have DOMs that's lasting for 4 days. Like I could literally move my arms. Like they're bent at the side of my body because of all this micro damage. So should I split it and come and do rows for my back now with my arms being fucking bent and fucking micro torn and shit? Should I work them as well as I'm working my back the next day? Should I go fucking micro tear my back now after my muscles, my arms are micro torn? Or should I go and grow them? What should I do? What should I do, Massive Iron? My hero. You gonna help me? Oh, but if I work them, won't they shrink? I'll lose them. They'll die. The fibers will die because they're micro torn. I don't have a chance to grow, Massive Iron. So now I go and do my back with my torn arms, and now they're fucked up. I'm so weak now. I'm fucked. They got smaller, but now my back is micro torn. What should I do the next day? My chest? Oh, I'm gonna work my chest while I'm working my back at the same time, trying to micro tear it. Oh, and I'm using my arms again. Oh, fuck! In a split routine. Oh, Massive Iron, what am I doing, dudeski? Are they going to grow that way? Well, how come they're stuck at the side of my body? Are they growing? Why are they so sore, Massive Iron? What's going on here?
Career developing new splits and new workouts and new training protocols because I like to present folks with
New
options.
training protocols to break down muscles. Maybe you'll get a micro tear if you're lucky, listening to this fat fool.
I like to give you different options, different ways to train.
See, different options, different ways to train to micro damage a muscle. Well, there's concentric and eccentric. You can train eccentrically or you can train concentrically, try to get a micro tear out of that exercise. But I'll tell you, you'll get more out of eccentric than you'll ever get out of concentric, ever.
Why do I have 100 different ways to train in the massive iron world? Because they are options.
Not only that, but they're different. The way they build muscle are well, similarly similar. Yeah, I mean, you know, we definitely do want the series. We definitely want in series, and we definitely want in parallel. But all exercises will build in parallel and in series. Look, if you're lifting eccentrically, you're just going to get more micro tears. So eccentrically always gives you the maximum amount of micro tears. But because you're lifting it, there's a concentric to the eccentric. You're going to get parallel and in series automatically. Now, concentric exercise with some eccentric. Are you going to get parallel and maybe some, in series? Of course you are. Of course. If there was enough micro tears there, I don't know how vigorously you trained in the concentric. I can't tell you. I don't know. I'm not a fucking mind reader. So, yeah. And plus, if protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown, then yes, you'll see growth. But if it doesn't outpace it, then you'll see jack squat there. If anything, you'll shrink if there's not enough there.
You might like one rather than another. You might like this split rather than another split. Don't just trap yourself in the push-pull legs world.
Push-pull, see? A lot of people trap themselves in the push-pull world.
On flexibility, meaning you don't need to train a certain number of days per week. We give you the flexibility to train maybe 3 days 1 week and 4 days the next.
Yeah, that's all you need. 4 days the next. Man, if you train all those days in a row, you're never gonna see growth. You're just breaking proteins down. You guys are fools listening to this fuck.
Now, before we go, I just want to say thank you for watching this video.
Yeah, I'll see you in the next one, friends. Don't sleep about the like, subscribe, support the channel. That was way too long.